Hey, this is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it's Wednesday, May the 1st. It's May Day. It was it really there were a couple of early good, nice setups, and then it just was so choppy, right? It just took forever to work through this, but needless to say, we got on through there, and there were several opportunities to enter, and every time. And I'll explain, but I added on a couple. I added on a new set each time here, and I got nervous as heck. But you see, it moved on down. It paid off big time in the end. So it turned out to be a really good trading day. And my guess is we're going to head to the lower side. This would be my likely target right there. That puts a little bit of an overshoot. This could be a little lower here probably. So we'll see if we get there, but that would be my target at this point. And this is just, at first I wasn't sure if this upper side might have been here, but you notice nothing triggered right there. And that was the reason you didn't really want to go short here, because we weren't even back to this line yet. But my guess was it was up here. And that's exactly where it turned, right off of those highs up there. And you can see that. And we tested it. We turned off of it. Then we tested it, tested it, tested it. That's 3 tests of it. And every time, they really struggled to go lower there. There was some strong support right across here. But once we finally worked on through there, you can see it continually going lower. So that's the channel I see today. It's a clear down channel. The EMA is clearly pointed down. It got a little flat here, but hopefully you found this channel. And I found the upper side. I drew it off the lows first. I think I originally drew it like right across there, but I'm thinking it's probably more like that right there. We'll see how it may turn out to be right there. But with that target down there, I'm thinking it's probably more like that. And that's where it finally bounced right there. It bounced there and then again right here. And that's when you get your move to the other side. And no matter where, even if you thought it was there, there's no setup there, because notice, let me just make it a little bigger. Notice that nothing ever triggered there. And this is a failed second entry long, so I drew that one in green because or failed second entry short that turned into a short trap. So you could have gone long there possibly. This has been down all this time, so it's a little risky. But with that trap there, it's almost worth taking. If it would have triggered there, it was still a failed second entry short. But then you got one off the high side too, and so now you got 2 reasons to be thinking go long. And so there is a long right there, and you can see it was worth a couple of points before it turned down again. But let's talk about each of the trades, and then we'll wrap it up. Try not to get too long today because this is pretty straightforward. It was brutal waiting on this to complete, and it was brutal every time I entered and added on. I thought, you dummy. But I trusted it. I just kept saying, even if it's down here and we got the break, we still should get the retest. So that's what I was looking for. And so I wasn't thinking about a long. This was the only one I considered going long on, and I did not take it, but it's there if you wanted to. Every one of these, after this point, I never considered going long. I'm steadily thinking we got a turn here soon. And then when I drug this up to here, and that's where we turned, it was obvious that that's the channel right there. You can see it, black and white. And I just kept trusting the channel, assuming that we're going to make a new low no matter what. Even if I'm wrong and this is the channel, we still should make a new low. And you can see it it did kind of bounce there off of that, and then it kind of bounced again right in here, and then it got below it, and then it came back. So you can see that there is some action. Some other people saw that, but I believe this is the actual channel right here. No doubt about it. Again, it was scary entering all these times and adding on, and every time I added on, I'm thinking, why do you keep adding on here? But it paid off handsomely in the end, and you just didn't have any other option. it didn't feel comfortable going short, but you could see nothing could go higher really. There were a lot of stems and it kept bouncing, but there was just some really strong support right through here, and the sellers just didn't want to, the buyers didn't want to relinquish till they finally worked on through that, and then it took off. This happened fairly quickly down through here, and then I exited in this chop on the new low here. I think I actually exited on this little doji right here when we formed that doji and then opened up inside it. I think I just exited. So I exited within a point or so of that low. Of course, we went lower again. You had another option to add on, to enter or add on again here if you wanted. So, but let's talk about the trades and then we'll wrap it up. This was the first trade. We had a clear downtrend, and you might have even looked at some kind of trend line down through here, and then you had a break and a couple legs down to a new low, and so this could have been, even if you saw it that way, this could have been the correction off of that. And let's just see how long it lasted. I know it lasted over an hour because I sat there through the brutal thing, waiting for it to get up there. I'd say 9:15 to, that's about when it ended, 10:25. So just about an hour, exactly what you expect, at least about an hour of correction, and then we started trending down again. And so I would look at this as one leg on a bigger picture, your correction, and I would assume we're going to try to make another leg like that. So even if you saw this is the trend, which there is a trend there, and the break, that should have kept you still looking for shorts here until right here. And that might have been another reason not to be thinking short here, because now we've got the new low. We've got the trend line break and a couple of legs down to a new low. But on the bigger picture, I'm looking at this right here. That's what I see, and I believe that's correct. It's, it held prices right here, and by trusting that line, I had a pretty good day. But let's talk about the trades. Your first short was here. That was your first break of the trend line. Even if you saw it here, I saw it as a spiking channel, and that's why I wasn't sure if this was going to be the channel or if this was going to be it. But you got a spike down, and then you went into this channel, and it looks like, it could turn out that this is it, and you got your break. Either way, you still should have been looking for shorts here in your new low. So we could rally out of here, but I'm still thinking the fact that held so well, and I'm still thinking that we're headed lower. I'm going to try to make a measured move similar to this one. Oops. And again, that's going to put prices, that's going to put our target at about 1575 or so right there. Let's just look and see exactly what that is. 1575.50 is my target. You can see we're not far from there. We're about 4.5 points from there right now. So I'm guessing that's where we're headed. We'll see. That would be my longer term target if I was still trading, till at least we get some kind of stronger support or something across there. But anyway, no matter how you saw it, this was your first short. And notice this is a breakout pullback short too. Notice that I had that line drawn across there. That was your support from yesterday. And we broke through it, pulled back, tested it. That's a beautiful reversal bar. It's a second entry short. Notice it broke higher first and then broke below, so I went short right there. Easy scalp, nothing else. It comes right back. But then it makes a little bit lower. It's basically a double top, but it's a little bit lower. Closes are a little less. You got the little doji right there. It's a second entry short again. Here's your low, first entry, second entry. So it's really a two-legged pullback. Once again, it's two of them in a row. Generally, if you see one pattern, a pattern that works once in a day, it's going to work again. I entered right here, still room to get out. This time you call it a runner. Once it hit this lower line, and I originally had this drawn about like that, and that might still be it, but I've moved it on down. It looks probably better to me right there, but I originally had it drawn like that right there. So when we touched this line down here, I exited, and then this is where it started. We had a little failed break higher and a big bearish bar, so it's a little more aggressive, but that's a failed break higher. we did have this little channel and we hadn't really had a break yet, so I probably should have waited. But I like that trade. It's right off what I thought the trend channel. It's a lower high. Each one of these highs is, notice that each one of these highs is a little lower, and that was giving me confidence too, that the buyers are losing strength and the sellers are gaining confidence. So I entered right there. Let me make it a little bigger since we got so much on here. Right below that bar, what I did was, since it was a little bit of overlap right there, I dropped a limit order. So I think I got short in the center of that bar, and so your stop didn't have to be very big. I kept it above this line right here just to give myself some extra room there. It was about a point or so stop, I think, if you entered halfway. One, two, yeah, I think it was about a point, maybe 5 ticks, and then it broke. It never broke higher there, and then you get it right off the line again. You get another reversal, and I was a little hesitant to add on here because now you got a lot of overlap, but I just really liked this setup, and I felt like we were going lower, so I added on another one there. It comes down. I was able to scalp out of both of those, and they came back and got my runners there. There is a FOMC news today, so it comes out in a few minutes, so be careful with that one if you're still trading. So they came back and got my runners, but I entered again right here, and I added on another set right here. Easy scalp, and I held on to my runners this time, and I rode this all the way down to, I think I exited on this little doji right there. So all these setups right here really made me some money. And I had one last trade right here. I was hesitant to enter this one, but I felt like we're still going lower. It's a breakout pullback short, just like the one we had. It was similar to the one we had right here, and it's just really a two-legged. Notice it's a one leg up pullback, second leg up, so it's a two-legged pullback to the EMA. And now the sellers were kind of getting more active, and so you could have waited on either one of these, but I waited on this bar right here, and I waited on it to, what I did was I just dropped a limit order in there, and I actually snuck in this one early because since we had the break there, I used that, but I waited on that bar, and then I dropped my limit order in at that same price and was lucky to get filled. I didn't quite, if you went halfway, you probably didn't get filled, but right there you got filled. It turns back down, and what you got to do is make sure you got enough room to get out before this low, just in case it bounces there. So that's the only reason I didn't enter on a stop, because there wasn't quite enough room there. I didn't feel like, so I tried to get a little better entry, and I did, and it worked out that time. Sometimes you'll get left behind, but today has been really choppy, and most everything is pulled back a little bit after your entry. So I was hoping that's what would happen. It did. And I exited on this bar right here, and then I was done for the day. So now we got the video going on, and it's been a really good trading day. It was slow. I mean, it was brutal from here to where this start to here. It was brutal. I mean, it just wasn't much movement. If you take the entire movement from the lows 83.25 to the highs of 88. So about 4.5 points, and really most of it was within 85 to 88, so about 3 points. I mean, we really were kind of stuck in that mess right there. And, a lot of times on FOMC days, it's you spend most of the day in a trading range because everybody's scared to enter, and I'm guessing that's why it was so slow through there. But the sellers were winning out, and the price action is always right. Doesn't matter if there's news or no news. The price action is price action, and it's right. And if you're reading it right, which I felt like we were, no matter whether I was reading it right here or here, I was still looking for a lower low here. So didn't matter whether I got it right here or whether I was wrong and it was going to be up here. Or whether I was wrong here and it was going to be up here. Either way, as long as I didn't get stuck in a short down here, you're good to go. And so I used every one of these opportunities to make some additional money, and that line held all the way down, and we're still headed lower, and we'll see what happens when the news comes out. Notice this low didn't go much further. It's just trying to set up another little breakout pullback short here maybe. I'd be real careful entering right now till that news comes out. I don't expect any surprises, so it's probably going to be dull like it has been mostly lately. FOMC, remember the little flash sell-off we had a few days last week, a few days ago? You know, that used to be fairly common on FOMC days to get movement like that, but it'd be because there would be some kind of surprise. They would be expecting a raise and wouldn't get it, or would be expecting steady rates and you'd get a raise or a drop or something like that. And it's usually when you get something unexpected that causes the big movements. But FOMC is, you know, even without any big movement, it wouldn't surprise me. It'll just speed up. The price action should still be valid and should still be the same, but it will speed up. And what might happen, you might get a break of this channel here and then sell on down. And maybe this was a channel and we've had the break in a new low. So we'll just have to see what happens. But either way, I'm done. I'm not entering anymore. I've surpassed my goal for the day, so I'm good to go. This move right here on these little double ups was really good. I mean, that was 4 scalps there, plus 2 runners, 2 sets of runners that you know, you ride all the way down to the new low. And so it was a really good day. This was a pretty good trade right here too. No runner here, but you did get a runner on this one. For several points, and then the rest of these really. And if you went long here, you probably could have, you know, hit a little bit on your runners on that too. But this was a brutal climb here, waiting on something to happen. And at first, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to turn down right here. But notice it never triggered, and so that kept you from making a mistake. You might have went short right here. Because it is a second entry. Actually, you might have went short right there. But notice how there's all dojis, and by this time you got 3 overlapping bars. At least one of them's a doji. That means stay out. We're not back to the least possible trend channel line. So just stay out. You might have thought about going long because there was a trap, and those traps generally, even if they're, you know, but this is counter trend after a pretty big move down, so you just got to be careful. You know, I would just, like I said, I was really tempted to take that trade and just talk myself out of it, and it didn't matter because I ended up getting several opportunities up here. Notice we got some movement here. I don't know if that's the news that moved us on up there. Now we're getting a little double top. We'll see what happens, but that was pretty much it for the day. So I hope you had a good trading day. Starting out to be a pretty good week again. We're getting movement. We got a good trend down. It's been slow and it's been methodical, but hey, it's working all the same. So it's been another good trading week so far. We'll see how the rest of the week goes, but hope you had a good trading day. Hope your week's been going well. And we'll be back to do this tomorrow. So this is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.